My best advice for building wealth quickly is to first start with your full-time job. You want to be making as much money as possible, and in reality, most people are actually leaving a lot of money on the table. A vast majority of Americans believe they deserve a raise, but then they don't go and ask for one. They're too afraid that if they ask, they're going to get fired, or they have some fear of authority, and so they just keep working and they don't make as much money as possible. It costs the average company about 40 to 60% of your salary to replace you. Most employees have a lot more leverage to negotiate a raise than they think they do. Here are my top tips to ask for a raise. Do the research on what you should be getting paid. A vast majority of people aren't getting paid their market value. And your market value is simply the amount of money that another company would pay someone like you based on your skills and your experience. Keep a Google Doc or just notes on your phone and note every time that you've gone above and beyond your job description. And then by the time that you're ready to go in to negotiate a raise or a bonus, you'll have all of that information. When you actually ask, when you ask is extremely important. If your boss is upset, you're not gonna get a raise. If you go in on a Monday morning, you are not going to get a raise. The best time to ask is Friday before noon. People are excited about the weekend. It's been a long week. You know, you gotta find that sweet spot when you've had enough coffee and your boss has had enough coffee, and that's when you're gonna make the ask. So once you go in, the ask is really, really important. You don't just go in kind of nervous and say, I want $10,000. You don't want to do that. You want to first lead with, hey, you know, I've really enjoyed working here for the past year. I love seeing the company grow and being a part of the growth. And I really can see myself being here for a long time. And then you transition, you make the ask. You know, I've been analyzing how much other people get paid in my position at other companies, and a few recruiters have reached out to me with some other opportunities, and I think that it's fair, based on my research, that I should be making 15% more. You're more likely to get a raise if you ask in a percentage than in a dollar amount. Percentages are abstract. When people ask for dollar amounts, you immediately think about what that can buy. I think, ooh, $15,000. That could buy a first-class trip to Europe. That could buy a nice used car. And then once you make that ask, a lot of bosses, they might be taken aback and they'll probably say, oh, you know, I need a little time to think about it. But you never want to leave it open-ended. Always schedule the follow-up meeting. Because if not, all of a sudden you're going to be waiting there, and your boss, they might be using it as a delay tactic, or they might even forget entirely. And so you have to be your own advocate, and that is how you get paid as much as possible.